What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Naaackers, and today is Sunday, March 10th, 2019, and this is episode number 89. Tonight on the podcast, we have Sonder, SaltySam, and MiddleAgedStream. Sonder, how you doing tonight?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. SaltySam, how you doing?
Good.
MiddleAgedStream was crack-a-lacking, you bitch!
What? You're the bitch. I'm good.
Good. We're going to get to these guys in just a second. During the show, if you would like to ask a question to be answered during the Q&A at the end of the podcast, you can use the exclamation Q command in chat. Yeah. If we're not live, and yeah, the Q&A will happen at the end of the show. If we're not live and you would like to ask a question or submit any kind of feedback, you can send an email to podcast@naackers.com. And lastly, if you enjoy the podcast and you would like to support the show without spending any money at all, please consider leaving a review for the podcast on your podcasting app of choice. So what we're going to do is go around the room, introduce you guys to everybody we have on the show tonight. They're going to spot off their social media, and then we will get right into the podcast. So, here, before we get into this, what I'm going to start doing, I know, Salty, you're super accustomed to going first for the past, I don't know, fucking 2 years.
I am very habitual.
So if there's no guest, I'm going to put you first. But if there is a guest, I'm going to put the guest first. Does that make sense? Or does
the guest has to be last, because don't you just roll into it with the guest?
This is a good
it does
question.
Not matter to me as long as I know ahead of time.
Because, like, if you have somebody that's newer to the podcast, doesn't it make sense to put them first? Because they're the guest, they're the most important.
Yeah, especially if people don't know, like, aren't used to seeing you. You can just
right.
Like, oh, yeah.
All right, start the podcast over. We got to start over now. We got to re-record all of this.
This is the real shit, man. I almost said Mimmy. Jimmy.
We've been sitting around for 10 minutes just bullshit, and it could have been talking about this.
Because I knew if I didn't bring it up, Salty was going to be like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to go first, and I'm all thrown off.
I have the script up. I did notice that.
You weren't pulling the speed demon tonight.
No, I don't.
Oh, is that a thing? Am I supposed to be looking at that?
No, not really. Speed would always just not have it open, and then we would be talking about stuff. You'd be like, what are you guys looking at? The fucking script, bro. Old school times. So yeah, Sonder, who the fuck are you?
I'm Sonder. I play some games, and I'm a lighting designer, programmer, dude in real life.
Awesome. Where can we find you online?
Yeah. I have a Twitter, which, all right, get ready for it. Here, you know what? This is what's going to make it easier. Twitter.com/ it's in the chat. There we go.
And people don't use the guests command because I didn't fucking do it today. So Sonder's information is not going to be in there. So yeah, post that shit in chat. I'm a tired, lazy asshole today, and I did half the things that I should have.
And then obviously there's my Twitch.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who are you?
I'm just the dude who runs a podcast, man.
But nobody ever asks you.
I kind of forfeit that right being the host, right? Like if like every single show, I'm like, I'm Naaackers. You can find me.
It doesn't need to happen every time.
No. But I mean, I always go last. I kind of spot off stuff at the end. But I mean, people who are here fucking see enough and hear enough from me. So slowly stroke it. Knuckles up, Dan.
Well, on that note, I'm SaltySam. You can find me on Twitch at SaltySam, Twitter at TheSaltySam, and Instagram at SaltyAllDay.
My name is Jimmy, a.k.a. MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on Twitch at MiddleAgedStream, Instagram at MiddleAgedStream, Twitter, MiddleAgedStream, no D.
My name is Naaackers. You guys can find me on this very channel or on Twitter, Instagram, and Anchor at Naaackers with 3 A's. I just lied. Anchor is no longer... Well, I guess you can search the username on Anchor, but the URL is audios. What are we drinking tonight?
I just finished some espresso, and I have water.
You make your own espresso at the house?
I have one of those little, like, DeLonghi machines.
Ooh.
It's got the little potty thing. I've
Little
used them in
squatty
so many
potty?
Yeah, a little squatty. You got the squatty potty.
Yeah.
I use them in so many hotel rooms and everything around the world that I just became accustomed to it. I like it. I mean, it's not the best quality, but it's nice. It's quick. It's convenient.
You've had
Just
espresso machines in your hotel rooms?
yeah.
I've never had an espresso machine in the hotel room. I've had it in the hotel,
What?
like in the lobby.
Yeah, but once you start staying at hotels that no longer have a number in the title of the hotel, you
Oh,
start to
okay.
get cool things.
Okay, fair enough. Motel number 9.
Super 8.
Motel 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually just it's essentially an espresso Keurig.
Okay, got it. Interesting.
Yeah, time change fucked me up. I needed a quick little.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, I fucking hear you. I think right before I came in the office, I finished off my 4th or 5th tall Yeti mug of coffee today.
Today?
Damn, what
Just today.
is that? Are we talking like a 32 ouncer? Because I mean, this one is.
No, it's
I don't
not
know.
32. I think it's 20.
Okay. 100
Or
ounces
20.
of coffee. I haven't drank.
Have you drank any liquid that much today?
I've had a 5th of my water intake. Like a 5th of Salty's coffee intake in water.
So
I have
you've
had
20 ounces.
Yeah, and I've probably had 3 cups of coffee, like a tall Starbucks mug thing full of coffee. Because that's water too, right? Same
Yeah,
deal?
close enough. It's
Yeah.
just got diuretics in
round.
it that make you.
On my fucking
Dehydrate.
period. Yeah, that too. That's probably why I feel so shitty all the time. Just drink a shit ton of coffee and not a lot of water.
Yeah,
Could have something to do with
my
it.
whole work experience. But I'm drinking shit beer again, and this time I was too lazy to go get the can koozie, so I had a bottle koozie around. So I just made it into like a
cake.
cleavaged Bud Light.
You are lazy about the most random off the wall things. Because I know that you're not a lazy person, but when it comes to like certain things, like a 7-second walk to the kitchen to grab a koozie that fits, you're like, nah, fuck that.
That's a fucking waste of time there.
I feel you.
It's all about time management. We'll live your best life.
Right.
I am drinking a Shiner Ruby Redbird. It is, it's like grapefruit, like ale with a little touch of ginger. Only 95 calories as well.
Hey.
Nice little spring summer beer, little seasonal beer. It's good.
Okay.
Heard about it at the PTA meeting last week.
Did you? No, it's actually Shiner. Think of Shiner in Texas as like the it's like the Budweiser of Texas.
Yeah.
Like it's a big brewery here. So they put out a bunch of different seasonals and the Ruby Redbird they've been doing for several years now. Every spring it comes out. And they usually will run it till about June or July, but it's good. Tasty.
Shiner Bock?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've seen that around us.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a big Shiner distributes everywhere. So
Okay. Interesting. I have been looking to again try and stop drinking so much beer because I was buying like every time I would go to the liquor store, I'd pick up like an 18-pack, a glass bottle of Vin Diesels, and then those would be gone in a couple of weeks. I'm like, okay, well, probably a good idea to stop. So I've started investing in hard liquor again. So I have a gin and tonic, Tanqueray gin. It's in a green bottle, white label.
Yeah, Tanqueray.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever I go to the liquor store, I'm like, hey, I need this. Grab me a bottle of what you like. And they usually just give me that. Did they give me like an expensive bottle of gin or like above budget? Or do they just give me some whatever?
That's like middle of the road.
See, that's why I love them. Because they're not like, oh, okay, $80 bottle of gin. They're like, this is the good stuff. This is the stuff we drink only. They treat me nice. So I trust them. Well, I didn't trust them because I had to ask, but I trust them enough to not be like, wait, how much is this when I'm sitting there at the counter? But yeah. All right. Well, what the fuck has been up with you guys? Sonder, you're welcome to go first, sir.
Work. Recently got back from South America. Was down there for a little bit. Went from Orlando to Peru. From Peru or Lima in Peru. Then from there to Rio de Janeiro, to Belo Horizonte, to somewhere else in Brazil, then over to Chile, then
That's
Argentina, then Mexico, then finally back home. So,
And all this in the span of what time?
I was gone for 17 days.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. It was basically like do a show, wake up the next morning, get on a plane, do a show the next day, get on a plane, fly, one after the other. There was a couple days where we did a show, got out of the venue at like 2 o'clock in the morning, jumped on a plane at 6 a.m., went straight to the next show that night, and was essentially up for nearly 48 hours, like things like that. But that's normal, and what I do and stuff like that.
Does the equipment fly too?
In situations like that, it really all depends on the band and everything. So it's more so like if the band wants to pay for their own audio gear and stuff like that, then a cargo company will handle it the entire time. But you got to do customs on everything. So you have to do like carne manifest, like every single serial number to every single piece of gear going, weights, dimensions, like
oh my god,
all that stuff. So typically, from a lighting standpoint, I'll just send along. I just moved the window, so yeah. All right, cool. From a lighting standpoint, typically what'll happen is I'll just send a drawing ahead of time and be like, "Hey, here's my lighting plot," and whatever local vendors can fulfill my lighting plot, I show up and that's what I got.
So, interesting.
Really fucking nice as compared to having to tear all that equipment down.
Well, I mean, like for example, in Brazil, the company we had the same company for all 3 shows we did in Brazil, and they provided the gear for all 3 of those shows. So they were constantly breaking it down at the end of the night and overnight driving to the next gig to set it up for us and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just one of those things, though, like that's the way it works.
The amount of headache that saves y'all in logistics, though, is insane.
Absolutely. So
I can't even like all of that. Do you like flying from place to place rather than driving?
It depends. Like when we tour in the US and stuff like that, like I have no problem like being on a bus, and I sleep really well on a bus. Like you're essentially in a coffin, but like
you sleep well?
Yeah. I love sleeping on a bus.
I would sleep. That was what my parents used to do when I was a kid and was being an ass and wouldn't go to bed. They'd throw me in the car and drive me around the neighborhood until I fell asleep. That's why I have to drive now, because if I don't drive, I won't stay awake.
Really?
If I'm in the fucking passenger seat of a car,
yeah.
I will fall asleep immediately.
Yeah, I can fall asleep immediately.
That's how Weenie is. We'll go to grab like hibachi, not this past time, but like anywhere that's like a 20-minute drive within 15 minutes.
Yeah. That's 100% me. I'm
just pass the fuck out.
See, my thing is just like in the industry I work in and stuff like that, when you have downtime, you have to take advantage of it. And if you can forecast ahead and be like, you know what, we're not going to get out of here until 3 o'clock in the morning tonight. We got to turn around and do this all again at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to sleep in as many increments as I can throughout the day.
Yep.
So it's like your body just trains and learns how to like fall asleep immediately.
Right.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have to drive. If you don't have to drive, that's fucking perfect time.
That's a skill you certainly learned in your time in the military too, because I know I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a very well trained skill. It takes time, but shit, I'm sure when you were in, there are times you might have fallen asleep on a road march. I know I did.
Oh yeah.
Dude, literally fall asleep marching.
Run into the dude in front of you, like, oh shit, I'm doing something. Oh yeah.
There's a saying, it's like a smart man sleeps when he can, a wise man sleeps. No, a smart man sleeps when he's tired, a wise man sleeps when he can, or something like that.
Yeah, have a kid and see if you don't live by that motto.
Right?
Dude, just thinking about an interrupted night of sleep on a consistent basis because of a tiny me.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that.
I tell people, especially people that have animals in their house, just imagine how you act when your dog has diarrhea.
Right.
Like you have to constantly keep eyes on, constantly be intervening when
You're just
literally
waiting for your
shit is
dog.
hitting
You're
the
constantly looking around, waiting for the dog to start doing the like twerking motion. You're like, oh god, it's coming.
Go,
Here we
go.
A dog can die, and everyone will be like, "Oh, that's too bad." You let your kid die, some questions are going to be asked.
Yeah.
There's
Diarrhea,
a lot of
man.
repercussions with that.
Pretty
one.
serious shit in life.
No pun intended.
Yeah. So
All right, onward.
What games have you been playing?
Recently got into a PS4.
Nice.
Yeah.
The superior
And then
console.
it's at first I was a little but so Spider-Man, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's consoles for me now, I feel like a lot are more it's the single player experience on them. Like between that, also got Kingdom Hearts 3, started playing that with my girls. With all the Disney characters and everything like that. And aside from the first 45 minutes of that game being one cutscene, it's pretty damn fun. Like, I mean, the single player games and everything on the console, like, it's great. You know?
Being someone who, sorry to cut you off, being somebody who did not grow up with Kingdom Hearts, watching Kingdom Hearts, I can't. Like 5 minutes of dialogue of I'm like, oh my god, I just don't get it. I don't get the hype behind it. I didn't grow up with it, so I do not understand whatsoever.
I mean, the big thing for me is like I'm getting to share a part of my childhood with my kids now.
Right.
In a new way. So it's a new experience for me and it's a new experience for them. So it's like any impression that I can leave on them that left a positive impression on me as a child and everything like that, I'm all for it. You
100%.
know, like we sit around and we've played like Slime Rancher together, Spider-Man, obviously, Kingdom Hearts 3 now. Like I'm very like selective what I introduce them to because it's like I always want to kind of teach them something behind it as well.
Right.
You know?
yeah.
Speaking of, Slime Rancher is currently free on the Epic Store. I don't know if
you're
it's
into that type of thing.
playable free or free for the weekend. I actually don't even have the Epic launcher, I don't think.
I do.
I think no, I do not.
Pause.
If you're into that kind of thing, what do you mean? Like slime ranching or the Epic launcher?
No. I can't really hate on the Epic launcher right now because I really want to play that Satisfactory game.
Is that Epic only?
Yeah.
No
Epic Store.
shit. I also would like to play that game.
Yeah, me too. It's blowing the fuck up right now.
Like it's that tweet you posted, Naaackers, is pretty much like summed up exactly everything I've seen of that game.
Yeah, and that is why I am intrigued.
Slime Rancher. It is free, but it doesn't tell me the stipulations. Oh wait, in very fine print. Free now through March 21st.
Okay, so for a couple weeks then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. Okie dokie. Coolio, anything else for you, Sonder?
Took on some new clients. Workload is growing tremendously, I guess. Nothing like I'm not prepared before or anything like that, but I'm at the point now where I kind of have to start saying no if something else were to come along.
Right.
You know?
And is it
Which is not a
always
bad
stuff?
thing.
I was about to say that's a good problem to have.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I was just about to ask if do you tour more so in the summer or is it evenly split between the winter and the summer with the international travel?
I mean, it all depends. So the way tours typically work in the US and stuff like that is North American tours are typically for the sizes I do, which is arenas and that size. So 10,000 people, that's always going to be those outdoor amphitheaters during the summer and stuff like that. But
Right.
those tours can also roll into indoor arenas and become fall, winter tours and stuff like that. It's just a lot of those arenas have so much going on in that time frame because you got to figure you got NBA, you got NHL, you got NCAA, you have, Joe and Bob swap meet, rodeos, car auctions. Like it's all this planning has to go into it and everything like that. So what's happening right now in the industry is 2 years ago, work was really hard to come by because nobody was touring. What's happening now in 2019 is everybody and their mother is touring over the next 2 years. So it's going to go wet cycle, dry cycle, wet cycle, dry cycle for the next few years, I feel like.
I remember when I first met you, you were kind of talking how things were slowing down and you kind of weren't sure what was going to be going on in your future. And then next thing I know, you're home for 2 weeks, gone for 8.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way it goes a lot of times. But right now, the people I have and I'm working with directly and everything, it's kind of got me in a spot to where I'm gainfully and employed and doing things 52 weeks a year at this point. So it's not like I'll still do the touring stuff and everything, but it's like I'm being, compensated by some artist somewhere every week of the year at this point.
Okay.
So,
Damn.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's fucking sweet.
So, yeah, it's a grind, but it's working.
Yeah. Has your office changed rooms lately?
Mine?
Yeah. Have you always been in the same spot?
I've always been in here. Last time I had a backdrop thing.
Okay, that's what it was. Ah.
It's laying there. There.
Oh, is it back there? Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it was the Galaxy stuff. I got you. Okay.
I just didn't put it up. I can only find one thumbtack.
Oh no! Oh, you're gonna step on it in the next week or so. I knew.
If you look, you can see there's all my little pops and my lava lamp.
Yeah. Are those some
stuff?
Some LPs? Those some records right there?
Yeah, some records.
All right.
We got some things.
Dope.
Then that's all junk suitcase.
Perfect placement of the tapestry.
Right?
All right, Salty, what's up with you, man?
Not a whole lot. Some big shit went on this week. This past week I went out and finally we sold our other house August of last year, and I've just stuck with the money in my pocket from selling that house because there's some shit going on at my work, and we thought might be layoffs type shit happening again for a while. And then once that turned out to not be the case, I just wrote a check for $50,000 to put down on this house that we're in now.
Oh my God.
To lower my fucking payments by it once the principal gets in there and it's recast and they drop the mortgage insurance, it'll be more than $500 a month less.
Oh my God.
Than what I'm paying now.
Woo!
Yes, I cannot fucking wait because the first thing I'm going to do is pay off my truck, and then I will be relatively debt-free month to month. Almost $1,000 a month I'll be saving.
Oh my God.
When it's all said and done. Every month.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, can't fucking wait. Which kind of sucks because that basically means every payment I've made so far on my house was totally fucking worthless because 80% of it's fucking interest and taxes and mortgage insurance.
Oh.
So in the 6 or 7 months or whatever we've been in here, I think I've paid $1,000 or $1,500 or something towards the principal. So whatever. It made it so that my another reason I did it is so that my deductions would be way higher because I can claim so much more mortgage interest than my old house. So, but it's fucking cool. That means I'll be almost, I would have put over $75,000 down on this house, not including all the work I've done to it since I've been here. So I'm right side up.
If anybody had any question on whether or not Salty was a workaholic or not, there you go.
Yeah, fucking prepare a house after you talk to a real estate agent to sell, and then buy a house and renovate for a fucking year straight. I'm working on 9 months.
I can't believe you've already been in that house for 9 months.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, something like that. I think we moved in August.
Wow.
August 1st or July 31st, I think, is when we actually signed it. So, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Crazy. Wow.
But it's all good. I mean, that was a big thing for me. I needed to get rid of that fucking money because it was burning a hole in my pocket. And as everything in my fucking power to not just be like, call a fucking builder, throw a fucking 40 by 60 shop out at the front of the lot and call it a fucking day. But I held on. I did the right thing. I made it so that if shit ever hits the fan, I can sell this house and make money off of it as opposed to just getting fucked in the ass. So that's all good. And then my fucking work has been nuts these past few weeks. Like there's been some issues with equipment and shit where stuff was catching on fire and
like real fire.
Yeah, like
the other day, good, especially where you work.
Yeah, the other day, the units were running, the coal units were running, and a cable tray that was carrying basically all of the control wires for an entire mill, like a whole pulverizer mill, a coal crushing mill. All the control wires for that shit just lit on fire from the dust on top of it just getting so hot it smoldered. And it was like 30 degrees, 20 degrees outside. And it was still fucking so hot that it caught on fire.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, it's been fun. But I was on night shift. So it's like when this shit happens to normal people, it would be like, oh, man, I had a shit day at 10 o'clock this morning. Such and such happened, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's like at 3 o'clock in the morning when you haven't slept by like 2 hours because your son had a fucking fever. So he had to stay home with you all day.
Oh, no.
Like this last set of night shifts was a motherfucker. So I earned my money that weekend. But, and then the other thing I've been doing is I've been chucking shit. Like, as most people have seen, this pile of shit over here hasn't moved in like 3 months. I have barely been in this room in the past 3 months because I've been working on projects. I had to fucking replace a bunch of shit on my furnace because that died 2 weekends ago.
Oh, that's right. I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, it was bullshit. I was so pissed because it was like the coldest fucking weekend of the year, and my fucking heat goes out. So it's like I don't know it until it's cold enough for me to know it when I'm asleep. Like I got blankets on and shit, and I wake up because it's that cold. So I ended up having to fucking put new primaries, new filters, new flame scanners, the whole shit. It was a shitload of money I didn't want to spend at the end of the winter on my oil furnace that it won't get used for the next like 7 months.
Right.
Because it's literally as soon as the sun comes back out. Yeah,
as soon needed it for 48 hours.
Yeah, if it would have lasted another week, I wouldn't have 8 months. Like as soon as the sun comes out after winter here, it's just balls hot and just sweaty and gross. So I won't use it forever. But anyway, I got that shit fixed, and then I have determined to myself that because of the fact that I don't ever fucking play games anymore, that I'm just going to start scheduling days where like I'm taking these 3 fucking hours. Fuck all. I'm just going to like, I was actually thinking about getting my PS4 and hooking it up to that new 4K TV and just vegging out. Like I bought remote mounting kits for everything in my living room where that TV is above my fireplace because I fucking hate seeing wires. Mm-hmm. And when you have brick, that's pretty much fucking impossible.
Yeah.
So I actually am drilling. I drilled through the mortar between 2 bricks all the way into my garage, missing the actual chimney itself, and then all my shit. I'm going to have just like the server cabinet I have mounted in this closet. gonna mount another server cabinet in the ceiling of my garage, and then remote, like, get an IR repeater.
Oh, and just keep it all
Wow.
tucked away.
Yeah, and just run everything from the garage. Because then I could do the
yes.
wiring and everything. I could do wired speakers and not have to blow like 1,000 holes in my ceiling
Oh, there's a
to
good
run all
little
the wires.
Oh yeah. Salty,
Yeah.
real quick, I'm gonna try getting into this channel on my streaming PC Discord and see if it stops the mic clipping.
Okay. That's pretty good mic clipping.
Check one,
Yeah.
check.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't
it's fine.
know. Yeah, I don't know if it was just Discord on my gaming PC. I don't know. Who knows? Okay. You may
Yeah, you
continue.
actually sound better.
Yeah, you sound way better.
Yeah, way better. I don't know why. I mean, it
It's
probably
like
only
it
makes
wasn't going
difference
through
to
your
us.
compressor or some shit. I don't know.
Weird.
Like it was peaked out when you were just regular talking.
Yeah, I have no explanation.
Fucking audio.
Seriously, dude. Like nothing. The one thing that would have changed was I cranked my gain for Weenie and I's Mario stream the other day. Went that right back down. So I don't know what the fuck. No, I have no idea. No idea.
Fucking audio.
Fucking audio.
Never ceases to amaze.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys
It
could
breaks for no
tell.
reason all the time.
My sub 2R camera has been like lightly flickering white tonight as well. Something fucked up is going on around here, and I'm just not going to pay any attention to it. I'm just going to mind my own
Got
fucking business.
Voltage issues. It's
Oh,
probably because you
just-
have like 85,000 plugs plugged into one circuit in your house.
Yep.
You know he's
That
only got
fucking-
one breaker in that entire
Yeah, that
room.
circuit breaker is just screaming its fucking ass
Getting
off every
hammered.
time you walk in the house.
Yeah, between I think there's a total of 10 power strips in this room
Oh my god.
for 2 outlets.
Bro,
You make
All right,
me
Chevy
extremely
Chase.
nervous.
I have no
Right?
choice. What am I going to do?
head over to the Griswolds. Let's see that Christmas light
Yeah.
show in there.
Start stealing some of my neighbor's power.
Now I know why they needed them fucking coal units this weekend.
Mm.
Bastards. Yeah. So I haven't played shit. I haven't been playing shit. And now that the weather's starting to turn, I'm gonna have to force myself to play shit, because if I don't, then I'm always going to be working on something.
Satisfactory, homie.
I saw y'all in chat earlier talking about that it can be fucking co-op.
Oh yeah. So basically, like that tweet he posted, it's like Subnautica and Factorio add sex, and this is the baby from it.
I'm all about it. I love fucking grindy
Yeah,
ass.
but the one question, like I
Building
said,
names.
was like, how do save states work in this? Is it a server browser? Is it, like, does somebody save it locally and you can only play when all of you are together? Like, that's what I'm curious about, how to save states work. Because if I can get a private server, then that'd be awesome.
Which is what
Yeah.
I don't understand why so many people are getting away from that. It has to be either a money thing or a money management thing, where they don't like other people having control over what can happen in the servers. But it kind of sucks that multiplayer gaming is getting away from dedicated servers. It makes me super sad, even though
I mean, it's like
I have no desire to
Battlefield
fucking
5.
run them.
no private servers, Battlefield 5.
Right. And that was like
None.
one thing that I was really fucking hoping for. And again,
Yeah.
not because I really want to run one, but I would like to have, like, the greatest thing was being able to launch fucking whatever that Battlefield 4 internet launcher was and be like, oh, here are my top 10 servers. I don't feel like playing this one. I can go to this other one. You can play with, even if you weren't playing with your own community, you could play with their community, and like you got to know other people that were regulars as well. You knew places that really held down their rules, and I fucking missed that a lot instead of just jumping into random queues and shit.
That's like me with CSGO. Like, I go to the same 5 surf servers, and it's like I know the people there, and it's chill because we're just surfing and stuff like that. Like, that's one of the only reasons I still play CSGO, is just surfing and hanging out with those people.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming from the background that you come from the
Mhm.
fact of running all these gaming communities and shit
Right.
over the years. That was when me and you first met, was Battlefield 4 first came out.
Yep.
And I had been in the community for a while, but Naaackers stayed as far the fuck away from where I was hanging out in the community as he could possibly be.
Oh,
It was an Altus RP community.
fuck, man.
Yeah, Altus Life. I was actually watching somebody playing fucking Altus Life on Twitch earlier today.
Who?
Laughing my ass off.
Lyric was playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw Lyric was playing on the front page or on the featured page, whatever the fuck. And then I just started hopping around different people's streams because people still do a shitload of RP.
Oh yeah, well he's bringing back Lean Boys, his Grand Theft Auto RP. You know what's funny?
Well, Sum's doing RP now too.
Summit, and it's always so funny how Summit starts doing something and everybody just kind of hops on the train. That's been. He may not be the biggest person, right? But for some reason, he just sets the mood for whatever Twitch feels like playing. He's like, you know what? Fuck all this mainstream shit. I'm going to do. Obviously, there's a huge RP community behind Grand Theft Auto 5, and there has been for a super long time. But every time Summit jumps on something, everyone's like, all right, time to play that game.
Yeah. Fucking been around for 10 years. You got that kind of clout, I guess.
Right.
Dude, I heard about something the other day where apparently there's a website now called Twitch Stocks where you play with fake money and bet on streams and how their growth and everything is going to go.
Really?
It's like Twitch Stocks. So you could be like, oh, like so-and-so is playing this game on this day. I should buy more into that channel because I know a lot more people are going to watch them and stuff like that.
Right.
I feel like that's just going to turn into people like, it's basically the same reason why every community I've ever been a part of has had to disable downvoting.
Right.
Like somebody's going to get their fucking feelings hurt because nobody's buying their stock or somebody's selling all their shares of them. And then Twitch is going to be like, go fuck yourself.
And then leave it to Polygon to write an article thinking that twitchstocks.com is a real fucking website.
And it's real money. People are gambling with.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense for the gaming community as a whole.
Anything else for you, Salty?
No, I've been same as always. Work.
Good shit. MiddleAgedStream!
Yeah! Man, I've been busy this last month. I guess since we last talked on the podcast, it was like 4 weeks ago. So in that 4 weeks time, I've been, for those who don't know, I'm a high school teacher. I also coach soccer and football, and it's soccer season right now, and we're having the best season. This is my first year as the head coach on the boys soccer team for the high school that I'm at, and it's like the best season, the most wins we've had during the regular season in like the last decade. We're doing pretty good.
God damn.
Yeah, we're juicing, man. We're juicing. And we still got a couple games left. We're in first place right now in the district, and things are going well. So that's going good. I'm on spring break. Friday was the last one, the last day of school to go on for us to have a week off. So I needed it because I'm a little bit burnt out, not because I don't enjoy what I do, but I'm just tired. I've been burning the candle at both ends between trying to teach and to be a dad, be a husband, be a Twitch streamer, and everything else. I'm just tired. Like yesterday was Saturday, and we played a game Friday night. Like I slept in yesterday till like almost noon. Like I was just
fuck you.
I can't remember the last time I fucking did that shit.
I was up late because my another friend of mine who's a coach, who's the head coach of the girls team, he came over and we were drinking beers till like 3 a.m. But but I woke up. It was like noon, man. It was practically noon, and I was like, oh my god. My wife came in, and she was like, I tried to wake you up, but like you weren't moving. She's like, I pushed you and you were snoring and you were out. And so she's like, I just figured you just need to sleep.
What a great lady.
Oh, she's awesome. Yeah, she is. So then I got up, and then my son, unfortunately, he's been so excited about spring break. He had all this, my mother-in-law, his grandmother, had offered him like all these incentives for not only getting straight A's, but if he got either 100 or an A on some of these benchmark tests that he had to take, like shoot, if he got straight A's, he was going to give him $100 cash. If he got 100 on his 2 benchmark tests, $100 for each one. And so I'm in my mind, and if he got less than that, it would be $50. And I'm sure probably in her mind too, the kid's not going to get 100, right? No, he got straight A's.
Damn!
So he got $300 cash, and then I'm looking at my wife like, I don't know how we can compete with this shit that your mom does, because I mean,
let's just let her take care of this from now on.
Yup.
yeah, no shit. So he's got $300 cash, and he'd already been talking about he wanted to go shopping. Well, the poor kid, he's got a fever. Like my wife took his temperature that morning, was like, he's running a fever. I'm like, all right, well, let's see how he does. And he just kind of, when your kid's sick, when, at least with my kid, he's just kind of a little lethargic, and my kid never naps. Like, he never naps. I know Salty's kid's the same way. Like, he never naps at all.
Never.
And so he said, I need to lay down. I need to go to sleep. I was like, oh shit, you're sick. So he slept like most of the afternoon away, and it was really sad because we got tickets to go see Captain Marvel, and he just was too out of it to go. So we'll take him later this week. I went and saw it because I had some other friends that we went with. So I bit the bullet and went and saw Captain Marvel with them. And it was good. It was enjoyable. Obviously, no spoilers, but it's good. You guys that like Marvel movies will enjoy Captain Marvel. And there is a tie-in to the next Avengers movie that you can see in the film, which is cool. So
I would be surprised if they didn't somehow. They're all fucking like intertwined somehow nowadays. So
I mean, they have to be at this point.
Right.
They've introduced so many characters and everything like that. And they've purposely like recreated the entire universe now at this point.
Yeah. No, it was good. I know that I had heard. I don't read really reviews before I go see movies anymore, because I don't want to have any preconceived notion of what the film's going to be like. And after I'd heard from people saying that it was getting kind of shaky reviews, but after watching it, I mean, it wasn't my favorite Marvel movie I've ever seen, but it was certainly not bad at all. Like, I would, if I had to rate it, I'd give it like a solid 8, 7.5, 8, somewhere in that range. It was good. So, gaming wise, since the last month, we've played a lot of shit. I'm still on my long ass playthrough of Red Dead 2, because I'm only playing that game like once or twice a week for a couple hours. I'm trying to savor the flavor of that masterpiece, man. It's so damn good. It's so good. I beat Resident Evil 2. I will probably go back and play the B-side missions and some other stuff of that. I beat this. It was good, man. Yeah, it was good.
Was it scary?
Yeah, there were some bits. Although I think the Resident Evil, the first one, the remake, scared me more. But it might have been because that one was in first person. And I don't know. You were kind of in a more confined area because you're in that house a lot of the time.
Oh.
So, I mean, I enjoyed it, though. Like, Capcom has fucking nailed it with these remakes of Resident Evil. They are really, really good. So, beat that. I beat a game that came out like a year or two ago called Late Shift. It was an FMV game where basically it's like an interactive movie where you make choices and play along. It was a lot of fun.
Can I ask a super quick question?
Yeah.
This might be a super stupid question. Was Capcom the original developer of Resident Evil?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't know if like another company took over the remake. I actually don't know if that is common at all. And I have no proof of that. It's just a random question that popped in my head. You may proceed.
Oh, yeah. No, I know there are some games like where another company might take over to do some remakes, but no, Capcom, they've had that license.
Okay.
I played some Final Fight for Super Nintendo. I played a game called Fight and Rage, which is like it's a newer game, but it's like a retro-inspired game, like Streets of Rage, Final Fight mixed together sort of deal.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's on PC. It was I think it was part of the Humble Bundle this last month. And usually those games I never have a chance to play, and I just give them away for giveaways for my channel. But there were a couple of these I was going on the list, and I saw that one on there. I was like, I'd actually play this, so I put it on mine. And then that was the same thing with this other game called Slipstream, which is like a it's a lot like, I don't know if you guys ever played the old Top Gear games on Super Nintendo or whatever. It's kind of like that, which is pretty cool too. Alien Isolation, I'm starting back up again. I've been playing that game off and on for 2 years, but I hit a sub goal with my channel, and so I said I would finish it, so I'm going to be finishing that. And I thought it was funny too, because I know you just started playing it, which is kind of cool.
Game is something else and also different.
It's so fucking tense, dude. I've never played a game like that where I feel just so like my heart's about to leap out of my damn chest, man.
My jaw gets fucking sore from clenching, dude.
Yeah,
I'll finally get out of a zone, and then I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it is.
How
it is
now,
really
bro?
Tetris 99, which I didn't think I was gonna love, but I love it, man. It's
addicting.
amazing. Oh yeah,
I watched you play that on my living room TV the other night for like an hour.
Dude, the best I've been able to make is third place. Like, I made third place once. I've made fourth place a couple times. But you get in that final 10, man, and it's going fast as shit. And I mean, it is really fun.
Yeah, you have to be about your business in the Tetris.
And Adderall.
And then you realize like all the top 3 names are just Chinese characters.
Yeah.
I've got no chance. Can we get region lock, please? So us fucking white people have a shot.
Yeah, but it's a fun game.
Who would have ever thought that ping spoofing fucking Tetris would be a thing in 2019?
I just never thought I'd be playing Tetris again. You know, like I never thought to myself when I heard Tetris Battle. Yeah, like when I heard Tetris Battle Royale, I thought, what a dumb idea. And then I played it, was like, man, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, Tetris is the only game I keep on my phone, and it's the only game I've ever had installed on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, I don't, because if I'm on my phone, I'm normally watching videos.
Oh, okay.
But
do any of you guys subscribe to Humble Bundle?
I do.
Humble Bundle, yes.
Humble Monthly, is it worth it?
Yeah,
I think so.
$12 a month for
totally worth it.
6 games?
Oh, it's usually it depends. It's anywhere usually between 6 to 9. Nice. But I would say most of the time I just use them for giveaways, and I give them to, people on my channel. But occasionally there's some stuff on there I like that I want to keep for myself. But yeah, I mean, there's some really good titles that have been on there that I've kept.
Last month, Warhammer Vermintide 2, like that was a title I wanted to play.
Right. I'm seeing Late Shift, Tower Unite, and Warhammer were all in that one. And then for this month, or maybe this is for upcoming, I'm seeing, I can't read this fucking Northgard, Mutant, and Absolver Downfall. I don't know if that's a DLC for.
I think those are for next month's. But like if you sign up for it, you get it the next month's early, like that or whatever.
This is intriguing to me. Like,
and plus you get 10% off in the store.
That's the same amount as Amazon Prime, but you're getting 9 games instead of 1. Well, it's 9 games I might not play compared to 1 game that I will never play.
Definitely not gonna play.
But still, like, that's I'm intrigued.
And then the ones you don't play, like, Middle Age said, just give them away.
I always wondered where the hell you got all those fucking keys from. I'm like, man, Jimmy loves this community. He's dropping serious bombs.
Yeah, man. I most of them come from Humble Bundle.
How many?
I usually just
I'm just gonna yeet that from you.
Yeah. So, but the only other game I'm planning on getting right now, because of that today's Mario Day, right? Mario, because it's the 10th, March 10th. MAR10 Mario Day. Yeah. So for the next couple of days, the sale just started. Like any Mario game on the Switch is like $20 off or something. So I'm gonna buy the
Motherfucker. You just bought bucks.
Yeah, the Super Mario Brothers U. I had my eye on it, and but I didn't want to pay full price. But now that it's $40, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy it.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, I know. You just bought it, didn't you?
Last night or I
And
guess
the worst-
Friday night.
The worst part about it is every game that contains Mario. So it's not just Mario's
Yeah,
center
like
games, but
Mario
like Super
Party,
Smash
Mario
and
Tennis, and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I've
Yeah.
like that sale legitimately makes me want to buy a Switch right now.
Do it.
Oh, it's worth it.
Do
So
it.
worth it.
There's so many games, like there's so many crossover games, cross console games that I would love to have on the Switch.
There is a I was playing Super Mario Deluxe with the Pro controller. That is such a great fucking controller. Like I'm totally okay with paying however much it was, like $60 or $70 for that thing. That's a great fucking controller. That's probably one of my, I don't know if I like it more than the Xbox. But it has the same joystick layout as the Xbox, which is a huge plus. But fucking
I'm 100% about that life.
A and B being swapped messes me up. As somebody who only plays Switch like occasionally, always messing me up.
Bro, playing Kingdom Hearts 3 on PS4, jump is circle and attack is X.
This is bullshit.
That's not right.
And you can't change it. Like, it's fucking me up.
I fucking hate the PlayStation controller with a passion.
I do too. It is the worst
can't-
I
controller.
don't hate it.
I'll put it to you this way:
Not a
I
big
never finished the last like mission and a half of Wolfenstein 2 because of that controller. I was so I played it at such far intervals apart that by the time I got back to playing it, I forget every fucking control in there. It's just like, this sucks.
I would rather
'Cause
have built myself a controller out of fucking Kinects and rubber bands than have to
Yeah.
use the PlayStation controller again.
I still have 2 brand new Xbox 360 controllers in the box from the original Xbox 360 to launch, because those are my favorite controllers, and they're both wired because fuck having to recharge batteries.
I actually just bought myself some rechargeable batteries from Amazon, and let me tell you, the amount of money I've already saved between the wireless microphone for the craft room and VR, and then the controllers, A+ purchase.
Yeah, I have them for shit I use all the time. I just hate them with controllers because it's like I'm never gonna be more than 6 or 8 feet the fuck away from the screen, anyways, especially in here. So why the fuck am I gonna have wireless controllers?
Right.
I just don't care that much.
I just got wireless headphones. Got these ones.
Ooh, what is they?
Yeah.
They're the HyperX Cloud Flights.
Okay.
They were
And
like a deal of a day somewhere. They're actually they're great. 30 hours.
oh damn.
Wow.
Yeah, 30 hours is what you can get out of them. The sound on them's great. The bass is a little inflated, and there's really no way to do it. It sucks. You have to download their little app in order to see the battery indicator and see how much battery life you actually have and
Damn
stuff like that. Yeah, it's stupid. That's the only complaint. But they come with, like, a little mic you can jack into them and stuff like that and all that. But
Oh, it's
they're
detachable.
great. Yeah, you
Okay.
can just pull it out.
Awesome.
But they're full on Bluetooth. Or not full on Bluetooth. They get the little dongle jammy,
Okay.
but they work with like PlayStation 2 as well. So
Okay.
Huh?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
they're a
A
little tight.
little tight.
Yeah, like I'm still breaking them in a little bit.
I had to actually stretch my A40s I had before because they were so tight on my head. I just put a fucking balloon in there and blew it up and left it there for like a fucking week.
It's a great idea. And yeah, anything coming from the DT990s is going to feel like cardboard on your ears. Yeah. Anything else for you, Jimbo?
No, man, that's it.
Okay.
That's it, brother.
Because it's been a month, like I can barely remember what happened the past week. So trying to think a month back is pretty much impossible. I know that I've been building a shit ton of macro boards, which is still kind of like stream game content or whatever. That's been super awesome. I posted this on Instagram, but I bought some of the limited edition Space Cat launch pads, and he gave me fucking edition 1 of 50. And I was
I
like,
saw that shit.
oh, it's so fucking cool. So right now what I'm planning, like in my head, I think I want to turn this back wall into the glowing mechanical keyboard wall. And so I'm just going to start building boards that do not function but glow, and then just fucking start plastering them on the wall.
You should do just like each individual part of boards, like some PCBs here,
All like separated.
Some keycaps here, things like that.
That's a good idea. I like that. Yeet! I have been on a couple podcasts lately. I was on the Space Cat Off the Clack podcast about a week or so ago. I was on Wally and Howie's podcast last night. Both a super, super good time. I'll tell you what. Being on a podcast, not having to prepare for dick, it's fantastic. I'm all about it.
You prepare for this one?
I highly recommend it.
What does that mean? Excuse you. Look at the script.
Earlier.
Look at the script, Sonder.
You skipped over penis. You were not following.
I didn't know. I saw it, but my podcasting skills are just such on another level that I just erased it from my memory.
We've definitely never put a bunch of crazy shit. That was Speed's thing.
Yeah,
Speed always like putting some crazy
Fuck
shit.
you,
in
San
the script.
yeah, yeah. So I've been trained to skip the things in chat or in script. Fuck. As far as the only
I just
other
opened it, by the way.
the script, I can tell your face is more illuminated than it was 10 seconds ago. That's how I know who's looking at the fucking script and who's not. Is who's got some pasty face going on. Oh yeah, I can see in Salty's reflection of his glasses too. The past 2 days. So on Saturday from noon till 9, and literally like I was on Wally's podcast at 9. I stopped inputting data into my spreadsheet at like 8:55. So 9 straight hours of doing taxes for Twitch. And then from from noon until 7, maybe like 7:15, whenever I sent the script out, it was, again, just doing more stuff. Unfortunately, this year, because all of my Twitch money was all mixed in with my personal account, it was printing out statements from my personal account and itemizing every single expense, printing out invoice for every single sub and gifted sub that I dished out in 2018, and then itemizing that by month so that I could write that off. Just a stupid amount of work. And now I'm like, I'm not subbing anybody. If it's like now every time I go to sub to somebody, I'm like, it's extra paperwork at the end of the year. Is it worth these emotes? Like, that's not what's going to be in my head. But yeah, 16 hours later, all the tax stuff, all the preparation for my tax stuff is done. And I'm going to see my tax guy at some point in the next week to get it all finalized.
Motherfucker.
Let's see here.
It pissed me off this year because I sold a house and I bought a house. And then in order to not get fucked on your taxes when you sell a house, you basically just have to prove how much money you increased the value of that house, whether it's through renovations or assessments or the land, the land itself becomes more valuable, whatever it is. And because I built that fucking garage, I had to dig up shit from 7 fucking years ago.
Oh my God.
All the HUD statements, all the original receipts for building the shop, all the fucking everything. And it was a pain in the dick. And then I got it all done. And because of the tax changes they made this year, that start this year, none of it fucking mattered because the standard deduction for a married person filing jointly is like $24,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Dude,
Yeah.
I get flustered
All
with
about-
my little amount of fucking paperwork. I don't have a house. I don't have a kid. So again, when it comes to like imagining what you guys have to go through with actual adult financial stuff, I'm not about that life, man.
It's not that, like, it's really nothing when it all comes down to normal shit.
Right.
But because I bought and sold a house, that fucked it all.
Changes everything.
Yeah. Plus, like, I'm lucky I didn't fucking work as more overtime than I did last year. Because Maryland has a way of fucking you if you make any money.
Yeah, they want a piece, baby, because you're closest to the capital. They're like, they're where?
Yeah, fucking assholes. The worst part is Virginia, Northern Virginia is creeping further south as the days go on. So like my escape plan of moving to like the Fredericksburg.
You don't want to go there, homie.
No, not anymore.
Sad.
It's a fucking dump.
Yeah.
It's a fucking dump now. Like it looks like an inner city. It looks like the fucking the northeast side of Richmond.
Oh yeah,
where it's like totally fucked and there's graffiti everywhere and nothing but train track fucking hobos.
Graffiti is art.
I don't give a shit. I was telling my wife today, actually, she's like, there's no culture down here. That's what she said. Because it was some fucking redneck posted some shit online or something. And that was her comment was, this is the kind of shit we have living around here. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have to worry about like chaining my fucking door shut every night either.
Right,
so.
Which is a plus.
And I could fucking blow a home intruder away down here and not have to fucking
go to
worry
sleep.
About people going to jail.
That's one of my favorite parts about Detroit is you can drive 20 minutes in any direction and hit completely different culture. Like we have Asian culture
3 blocks away.
Right, yeah, right there. You've got soul food, you've got a Hispanic population. There's a Polish community. I almost said community or communication. Community. There's so many. They're super small, very compact pockets of all these different nationalities, and
that's what you get with like those metropolitan like areas that have been there for a long. Like you drive around DC, you have the one thing, the same thing. It's
right.
Like literally one side of the street will be nothing but Ethiopian restaurants and Ethiopian things, and like the other side of the street is like Ben's Chili Bowl and like things like that.
Yeah, it's like fucking. When you get off the metro at Verizon Center to see a Caps game in DC, one way is Chinatown, the other way is like literally the ritziest part of town.
Mm-hmm.
At like period. It's all like designer brand stores and boutiques and shit down this street, and then Chinatown, where there's like dead fucking ducks hanging in the window kind of places are right next to each other.
Not that there's anything wrong with dead ducks.
No, fuck no. I love Chinatown. Like,
hell yeah.
Tomorrow. Tony's Mongolian restaurant in there. That was the best fucking place in the world. Their steamed dumplings are the shit.
Wait, you request drinks through Twitch chat?
I was thinking about typing it up whisper, but then because I have pop out and you can't fucking whisper with pop out, because
/whisper.
If you have it in pop out, it says you must have a Twitch window, really? Like a required recommended. Oh. I just spilled a little liquid on the audio equipment. If you try and whisper in a pop out chat, it says please open a compatible Twitch window in order to whisper.
Weird assholes.
What the fuck ever. As far as video games, I beat God of War like a week or two ago. 10 out of 10. That's all there is to say about that. I'm currently in the middle of Alien Isolation, and I've gotten down on some Beat Saber, Astroneer, Blade and Sorcery. We dabbled in The Witcher 3, which was the last Subselect game before God of War. So I guess that was actually probably a long time ago. That's how little of video games that I've played, like variety-wise, is The Witcher 3 is like my 5th game down and most recently played in Steam. So, motherfuck. I got down on some Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, which it's a Wii game that was ported over to the Switch. And I think there's 2 games that are baked into the one title. And for those of you that don't know, it is a modern day Mario game that is a side scroller that is co-op with up to 4 people. And it is a super fucking good time. Even if you just want to play with one person or if you just want to play with a bunch, it's up to you. Have any of you guys watched any Blade and Sorcery playthrough? The VR, like the medieval VR hack and slash?
I think I watched 42 play it a little bit.
Yeah.
Hold on, talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Yeah, but fucking that. I wanted to say something about that fucking Beat Saber game. I can't play VR games. They'll make me sick. I'll throw up immediately. Like, can't do it. But watching people, the way they set up these streams to where it's green screened and you see the person standing at the front of the like shit coming at them, the blocks coming at them, that is the craziest fucking game. I watched a guy do 140% speed run of Rap God the other day. That is the kind of shit that makes NVIDIA have to update drivers so that their fucking equipment doesn't brick.
Right.
That is insane. That like just thinking of the logistics in that, in the electronics themselves, have the hardware that's handling that fast and that much animation at the same time is just insane to me. But that's just the point I wanted to get across.
Regarding Blade and Sorcery, so Blade and Sorcery is a VR game where you kind of are plopped in the middle of an arena and there's weapons and shit everywhere, and you are a murderer. It is like there's no other way of describing it. And you can pick up items and you can use magic and you can throw knives. You can grab somebody by their throat, bring their face right to your face, and then just put a dagger through their temple, and then hold their head on the dagger, and then like grab swords and just keep killing people while you're just suspending this dead person up with your other arm. It can get super, super graphic. But if you have like some kinks, you know, it can probably be a really good time. So yeah, 42 streamed it. Die, motherfucker! I'm waiting for people to just implant other people's faces into that game. Like, all right, who do I want to kill today?
This is my antidepressant.
So if any of you out there have a VR kit and you just want to just go fuck around and kill people, Blade and Sorcery. It's a super fun time.
I want to... just reading chat real quick.
Yeah.
I would love a Harry Potter VR Quidditch.
Oh, that would probably make you sick. Moving that fast in VR. Dude, so like in that Blade and Sorcery game, you can jump, but you jump high and fast. I do smooth locomotion in VR all the time. Jumping once in that game made me fucking sick to my stomach, and I thought I was going to fall over. It's like if you start going at weird speeds that your body is not used to, you get fucked up. But I'd be like,
fuck it, let's try it.
I would love it. I would love to try it because you got to build up a tolerance anyways at some point.
Yeah.
All right, we are moving. We are moving along to the gaming news and discussion. Guys, like I said earlier, I was doing fucking taxes all day today. I prepared about half of the things that I needed to, so I didn't make any panels down below. And we also really don't have that many topics to cover. I have like one thing that I want to talk about, so we're just going to kind of go off the cuff and see what happens. The one, just so you know, that I'm super pumped about. Actually, I'm sorry, before that. During the week, if you guys would like to submit any gaming or streaming related news for us to possibly discuss on the show, there is a hashtag news channel in the Naaackers Discord where you can submit news articles for us to explore. I want to give a huge shout out to Remax, Matt Weenie, Vans, Amber's Arcade, G for Greg, Mr. 42, Sonder, and Uni for all submitting articles to the show. And of course, a big shout out to Polygon, Rock, Paper, Shotgun, and PC Gamer for supplying all the articles that we're not talking about because there really isn't a lot. So first thing, this is going off of a Twitter conversation that I had about a couple days ago. First thing I want to do is ask you all a question, and Sonder, I want you to go first, Salty after, MiddleAgedStream. Try and answer quickly because I don't want you to have any time to think.
Lightning round?
No, it's just one question, but I want you to answer fast because I want your knee-jerk reaction to it.
All right.
So, Sonder first. Do you think that I am 100% my genuine self on stream compared to who I am off stream?
Yes.
Okay, Salty.
Yeah.
Middle-aged.
Yeah.
There's no compressor in real life, though. He's loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
This is true. I was expecting all of you to say no. And I was actually kind of hoping that you were going to say no. Because, so here was the whole thing. This was a Twitter conversation that I had with Jay Dubious. where he was kind of having a run-in with some people who turned out not to be who he thought they were. And my whole thing is that I don't think anybody is 100% they're genuine. It's not that they're not themselves, but I think that there are certain parts that are exaggerated for the sake of the show, for the sake of entertainment.
But I think it's done subconsciously. Like you're not always consciously thinking about like, oh, when this happens, I need to, do this more so than what I normally do it, and things like that. Like coming from like meeting you in real life,
right?
And seeing you in stream and everything like that. Like, sure, in real life you're a tad bit more reserved, but that's because you're out of the privacy of your own home.
Right.
Still you. Like that's so my 100%. Like that's my interpretation of it. Is you are 100% still you. It's just when you're on stream, it's exaggerated is too much.
Okay.
But you get what I'm saying. Like,
right.
It's enlightened or whatever.
Not to mention the fact that in all of our cases, we are fucking guys that you met on the internet and have seen in real life. Probably all three of us combined, you couldn't count. Like you could count on both hands. It's twice. I've seen you twice. I went to Michigan. You came here.
Right.
And then Middle Age has been to Michigan a couple times. And
Jimmy slept in my house. You've slept in my house. I've slept at your parents' house.
Yeah. So it's like, think of anybody else in your life that you would hang out with 10 times, less 2 times or 1 time. And like, you are 100% you the entire time. Like, you're not gonna be balls to the fucking wall with people you met on the internet that you're now meeting in real life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like nobody's that vulnerable all the time.
It's because we met on Twitch and not Tinder.
Yeah.
Oh, the other T
that's
app.
True.
Yeah.
So get butt naked.
I'm trying. I guess me bringing up this topic is I kind of want to explore my thought process. And I don't know if this is just like me being too critical of myself or if it's actually how I see other people as well. Because I know a lot of people that are streamers and I know them personally and I know who they are in stream. And I don't know if when I think I am 100% myself, does being yourself mean just acting differently than you normally would, or is different just being like an emphasized version of yourself for the sake of entertainment? And like,
but the thing,
go ahead.
Well, the thing you have to think about is, as much as nobody wants to admit it, like if you're on Twitch and you're streaming, you already have a second personality,
right?
Like, I know you as Naaackers and I know you as Nick. Like
so
that's the thing.
Right. So does that constitute as being 100% your genuine self? Because like if I'm not streaming, I'm not hitting things, to make my lights go off. I'm not talking to myself while I'm gaming. There's things that are only done and there's things that you're like, oh man, well, because people are watching, if I did this thing, it would be funny. But if I was sitting here by myself, I wouldn't be doing those things or else people would be asking some questions.
Psychopath.
Right. You're just hitting sub alerts all the time. And stuff
like if we see a fucking Instagram story of a cop coming to your door when you're playing offline,
shit's real. So
which fucking Altus RP server did you fall into?
Oh, RP is life.
Motherfuckers.
RP is for real life, dude. That's what the R stands for. So yeah, and then so one of his us kind of going back and forth. I think it was a friendly conversation. Like I said, I try not to get into shit on Twitter, but I love starting those conversations on Twitter and then bringing the meat over onto a podcast where we can talk.
So I got a flip side to it though.
Yeah.
Do you feel when you meet people in real life that you are being 100% yourself? Like kind of the flip side of it. And like, do you feel like you have to kind of be Naaackers or can you be yourself? If we're looking at it from that perspective.
You kind of perfectly segued into my next point. which is one of his arguments, or not arguments, one of his rebuttals was, I am the same as if I were to invite people over to my house as I am when I am on stream. And my thought to that was, well, of course, because people are still in your presence, right? There's still people around. There's still eyes on you. So is when you're in the comfort of your own home with people around, is that your default normal self? Or is it when nobody is around? Is that your default normal self? Right?
I think when you're not thinking about it anymore, that's your default self.
Right.
When you're just living in the moment.
Right. So I think
this is a much deeper conversation
right, than we're used to.
I think it was originally intended to be, but it's super deep now.
No, because it's all about, I mean, y'all know I suck Gary V's stick. It's all about self-awareness, right? And being aware of where you are at any given moment. I think anybody who has hung out with me knows that my filter doesn't go away in real life. Just ask 42 Weenie and Blackwrath when I said that there was a beer named fucking BBC. Like when the waitress brought a beer and said, "All right, here's the BBC," and I said, "Big black cock," and she went, "Oh my fucking god." So I think to an extent, I never think about okay, no, people are around. I gotta kind of get into the mood. But on the flip side of that, because I put my entire self into my show and all of my energy, I feel like my off-stream self, it hasn't changed, but I have way less energy to be myself when the cameras are not rolling. Because like the stuff, like I'll be in like the middle of a conversation with somebody at work, and I will sit there and have the thought of, man, I would really like to continue this conversation, but I'm just fucking tired and I don't feel like talking. And that kind of troubles me a little bit. Right? It's like, man, I'm putting so much time and energy into this one part of my life that I fucking love and I don't regret, that like I feel like all of my time outside of that world, I just feel like sort of kind of drained. And that's something that I'm kind of working on like on a day-to-day basis. Jimmy, before I say anything else, I want to hear Jimmy speak because I see him Mr. Thinking It over there.
It's funny you mentioned this because this is something that I've thought about at length over the last couple of years, maybe partly because of my own situation of what my job is. And a lot of teaching is you're put on a show, at least for kids nowadays. It might have been different before, but now if you want to keep a young teenager in the classroom, if you want to keep them engaged and learning, I mean, you've got to be, I'm not saying you got to be jumping on the desks or, from the rooftops or anything, but you have to find ways to engage them. Otherwise you're going to lose them. And it does take a lot of energy and it does take a lot of you. And that's me. That's who I am. Am I going to, do some of those things when I'm not teaching a class or something? No. Or if I'm not coaching or doing something like that, no. But it's still me. I'm not acting like somebody that I'm not. Oh, thank you. Oh, my wife just brought me this.
Aw, hi, wifey. Damn, are those jalapeno poppers?
They are
Bacon
jalapeno
wrapped.
poppers.
Motherfuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out. Peace. On that note.
She just had to warn me they're very hot. Don't put them in your mouth. Which now I just got to smell them. Anyway, I guess the point I was trying to make was that it doesn't make you any less you. It's just that side of you. And I have the teacher Jimmy side. I have the coach Jimmy side of me. I've got the husband Jimmy side of me, the dad Jimmy side, the friend. I mean, it's all me. It's just that part that you're showing. And there are some people that see all those sides of me, and there are some people that might only see one side of me, but that doesn't make it any less me. So don't feel like, and I hear what you're saying about perhaps, where you feel like you're spending all this energy on a stream. Well, you're supposed to. If you want to keep people engaged, you're going to do that. And there are times when I go to stream and I am so spent from interacting and doing so much with my athletes or my students and everything that I've gone today that it really takes a lot for me to even hit the go live button. And there are times where I just haven't had the energy to do it. But it doesn't make it any less you. So I think, I'm not sure. I think I read some of the dialogue from where this question originated, perhaps. I think what J-Dub might have been referring to was people who are fake, if that was that the one? Yeah.
Yep.
And those are, people are fake who are not like, they're pretending to be somebody else.
Right.
That's not you. You're not pretending to be anyone else. It's just it's a different side of you. And I know that and I think that's how most people are. I really do. Like, I know I don't have the energy. I barely have the energy to be me. I don't have the energy to try and be somebody else.
Right.
Like,
So,
perfect example in the world I work in is like, I work with artists all the time, and it's like they'll go on stage, and for 90 minutes, that's who they are. They come off stage, completely different person, but that's still them.
Right.
yes.
Like,
You got to know
It's-
your audience too.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it's like,
I'm a lot more calm, cool, collected, and PC when I'm on computer shows
Yeah.
that are publicly seen. I am a much different person in a private voice chat or a car in DC.
And I've experienced that as well. I don't know. I don't know if this stems from. I think when I was responding to him on Twitter, I was probably a little harsh at the time. But like one of my responses was, if anybody says that they are 100% themselves on stream, they're a liar. And now thinking back, I don't think that is 100% true. So I don't know if this just stems from like an inner fear of slowly like becoming somebody that I'm not because I'm trying to appease to the channel.
you're overthinking it.
And again, I think that's probably the case. Because
Like, you're going to be most happy when you just don't think about it. Like, it's cool to have self-awareness and everything like that. But on
Right.
the other hand, it's like you can't bog yourself down and kill yourself thinking about the impressions that you're making in front of everybody else at every second of the day.
and
At some point, when you just let that go, it's like you're going to accept me for who I am and the way I am, no matter what. Like,
Well,
you know?
I'm unapologetically myself at all times. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. But I think it's more so of a fear of just like not knowing that I'm slowly becoming a caricature of myself, right? And that's what I am trying to avoid. So I think me having this conversation kind of out loud is kind of like helping me. Because I don't think it's ever something that I've brought up before, and I've been doing this thing for a long time. So, yeah,
I don't think there really is a such thing as a true self, like a quote unquote true self. Like, I feel like
on stream.
you can think regardless of where you're at.
Okay.
Like, I think that you could think of 2 or 3 different groups of friends. In my case, it'd be like a group of my wife's friends and a group of my friends. I'm not going to act the exact same fucking way with people I've known for a few years next to people I've known most of my life. Like,
Right.
most of my friends now are the same fucking people I hung out with in like 8th grade. So we're talking like getting up on 15, 20 years of knowing
Decades.
these people. That's not the same as I don't fucking remember this guy's name because I've only met him 3 times.
Yeah.
Like,
And on top of that, at the end of the day, you're the only one that form the opinion if you're being your true self. The other person is just telling you their interpretation of what they think is your true self.
Right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
fuck them all.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm me right here.
right.
Right?
Everywhere else, who fuck knows what's coming out of my mouth?
I guess this question is kind of directed towards Jimmy just because he streams often. And I know you guys both have streamed in the past. Jimmy, do you find yourself coming across fake people? Or because like when I think back of my past couple years, and especially like the people that I've found over the past 2 or 3 years, yes, I don't know them, but I don't I guess I just don't find myself in these situations where I'm finding all of these people who are like acting completely like one way when I'm around and then another way when they're not around. Maybe I'm not finding them quite yet, or maybe I'm not.
As you get older, they're less.
Right.
Yeah, people grow up.
Right.
I mean,
I guess
just think of it in the sense of going back to a hard time in both of our lives to the Altus servers. Think of how much trash came through there.
Oh my God.
Where you knew immediately that they weren't a shit human being. They're just a kid and they're just immature as fuck.
Right.
And it's like, you get older, the people you hang out with will differ. Like in my case, I feel like in my area specifically, and the people that I grew up with, it's like there is one guy that I went to school with and hung out with all the time has a kid, and my other two best friends don't have kids, no wife. Like, so it's like you change groups, social groups as you get older.
Right.
So it's like I'm not hanging out with the motherfuckers that were cussing and screaming in games anymore. I don't have patience for that. I don't have the time for that. Like, I just want to chill.
What
I think.
No, go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, I was gonna say, to answer your question, I think when I first started streaming on Twitch, when I didn't know anybody, I ran across some people that kind of became part of my circle a little bit. That it was mainly because one, I didn't understand Twitch etiquette or really didn't have any community that I was part of. Then I ran into some people that I guess I could label now as fake. You know what I mean? Not so much now, mainly because I know who I am on Twitch, and I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody knows what they're doing, but
Right.
I know what I'm trying to do, at least. And so I don't really run across that so much anymore. And if I do, like other streamers, I mean, I'm not going to hate on them or anything. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to watch them, you know? So I guess, yeah, you've been on the platform long enough to know what you like, what you don't like, who you want to associate yourself with, and who you don't. So not so much now, but that takes time. I mean, that takes, just like, you know, they were saying, it takes, and as you get older, and you're old enough now and you've been around the platform enough, you know the type of people that are there for the right reasons as opposed to those who are not. So,
right. What? I'm actually, for the first time in a while, I'm kind of looking for some advice. What can I do going forward? Because obviously I'm all about self-awareness, but obviously now it's to a fault because I'm now second guessing myself. And I obviously think that I'm myself on my show. And I honestly feel like I'm more, I don't want to say more myself, but I feel more aligned with myself on the podcast than I do on my own show. And I don't know if that stems from me just always feeling in my element when there's other people around, instead of just me being by myself. Because just me being in a room with one other person, my energy levels match with that person. As soon as I'm around other people, that just brings me up. And when I'm by myself, I'm kind of just at like a normal plateau of breathing. You know, I'm just here, right?
So with the podcast, you have three other individuals or one other individual to feed off of the entire time.
Right.
Your brain gets a chance to take a break and reset and think ahead and into the next thing. When it's just you solo, it's your brain constantly going and having to come up with the next step, the next thing. You know, what am I going to do after this? Oh God, my watch just said I have to stand up, so let me do that real quick. Oh God, I got a sub. With the podcast, you truly get to relax as much as like work you have to put into doing it and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, you truly get to just stop for a minute, chat, hang out with some friends. That's why you feel more aligned and everything like that.
Especially like being able to see people speak too. Like that
Yeah.
I was reading a study the other day that was about because of social media, how fucked up the next 10 generations are going to be because they don't see people and talk to people in person anymore, and how much of a difference the chemicals your mind actually produce are different.
Right.
in a conversation you're having, like even just thinking the difference between sitting on a Skype call and like sitting in a Discord chat, not being able to see somebody, and the difference between that alone, just it's almost like tactile feedback.
Yeah, and just like the not being able to, like the amount of time you spend wondering the emotion or like the context of the sentence that somebody just typed, like, oh, did they mean it like this? Did they mean it like that? Oh, well, I accidentally said asshole last time they were in channel. I don't know if they don't like me anymore. It's like, so yep. Another reason why I thoroughly enjoy things like this is because it is good to be able to sit down and just relax. Well, I don't know if this is me relaxing.
It's like a campfire chat.
Yeah, exactly. Just which fucking love camping.
Yeah, sitting around a campfire.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm building a fucking
are you
fucking tree house this year?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were gonna build a giant bonfire. Yeah, what the hell, Salty?
Well, because you were talking about going camping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you build
6.25 acres of woods around me?
Do you build tree houses when you go camping? Like
you do when you own the campground.
Okay, that's fair. Like, yeah, every time we go camping, Salty fucking brings his trailer full of tools and lumber and just builds a tree house.
Fucking this old house trailer. Yeah.
I'm picturing like a Simpsons episode where this happens, and it's like Salty dragging his kids with him out into the woods. And like,
get back to work, motherfucker.
Well, now that we've had this conversation, again, I have people like you guys on the podcast because A, I know you'll give it to me straight. B, I respect you and your opinions. And C, I'm secretly in love with all of you. So I need you to do me the solid of just kind of keep an eye on me in that regards. And if you ever feel, because I know, Salty, you just said Naaackers and Nick are sort of, in one small aspect of life, are different people, right? If you start to see that divide, and I'm for some reason the opposite of hyper aware, I need you to let me know. So just,
you know who would be the first person to let you know?
Jesus. Weenie? Oh, probably. Yeah. Probably.
Or Jesus.
I'm 1-1 with Jesus.
Knock, knock, motherfucker.
So yeah, that was kind of a conversation I wanted to have with J-Dub. If you're listening, I hope that brought a little bit more context of where I was coming from. Because yeah, I think that just stemmed from like a fear within myself of like, man, if I don't believe that other people are 100% themselves, then am I myself? And now I got kind of self-conscious about it. I'm like, is this beard even mine? Like, do I attach this to my face before stream every day?
Is my brain even mine?
I
mean, it's on social platforms. It's an easy question to ask of anybody. I mean, at the end of the fucking day, there are so many characters online that are clearly characters.
And one of the biggest issues with social media in general is people are only sharing the positive things in their lives.
Right.
So you get the trickle down effect of that, of other people looking at that and being like, oh, only great things are happening to this person. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Why is my life so shitty? And it's because you can choose and select which moments you want to share with people. You know?
Right.
Yep.
Any final thoughts on that?
Get that ass sucked.
Bitches.
That's exactly what I was looking for. The only other thing before we're moving along to the question and answer, Twitch affiliates are getting more motherfucking emotes,
Woo!
Which is pretty dope. I still haven't added my second emote because there's no time. There's no fucking time to do any of this shit. If you currently have enough, is it?
I love that so much, by the way.
More
The
emotes?
fact that they're, yes.
Yeah, oh
that
yeah.
should have been when it first fucking came out.
Yep.
If you're paying the same money as you're paying for a full sub for a partner, why? The fuck?
So
Twitch,
at
you
this-
assholes.
At this point in time, what, I guess, perks does a partner get over an affiliate nowadays?
Ads?
More
Transcoding.
emotes. The transcoding is
All
the
right,
big one.
transcoding
Yeah.
is like the biggest one.
Partner parties
So-
at TwitchCon. Yeah.
They have to wait in line for 3 days for it.
And there's like 1,000 cameras on you, so you can't do anything fun anyway.
Shorter
That's it,
payout?
right?
right?
Or you end up in a fucking controversy, and then you got to come on your stream.
Come
Yeah, I
on
think it's only
stream.
I think it's only 30 days instead of 45 for the payout.
Yep, 30-day payout for Twitch stuff. Which
So it's, at this point in time, it's really not that
check mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what made me do some thinking today? So for those of you unaware, when Twitch sends you your 1099 for the year, they do not include any of the revenue that you made in bits. So it is up to you to go and take all of the Twitch payouts that you received and subtract the amount of money that is on your 1099, and then you end up with your bit revenue. So
That's complete bullshit.
the 1099 that they send you only includes subs, at least at my level. And now, when you go into the Twitch tax forms, there's two forms. There's one for royalties and there's one for services. And I think once you hit a certain tax bracket, the subs and bits are separated. But it got me wondering, why did Twitch come out with their own currency that actually isn't a currency that they claim?
It's a tax loophole for them.
Yes, that is the exact thought that I landed on.
Yeah, because they're just playing middleman. They're basically laundering money, for lack of a better term.
Right.
Yep.
So I thought that was super interesting. So yeah, so when everybody got their 1099, so like, so my 1099 is half the amount that you said that you paid me according to PayPal. And then still, there's never been an official statement from Twitch saying, oh, by the way, the bits aren't included in your 1099. Like, there's had to be tax professionals that are affiliated with Twitch that have had to come out and bring light to those things.
Well, not to mention they're like, with the way that Twitch came to be through Justin TV and all that other shit, the reason why they pay people so, like, they don't pay people more often than they do is so they can they can cook their books basically when it comes to open trading their fucking stock. Now that it's Amazon, doesn't matter. But
right
before, when it was regular Twitch, it's like, what's your evaluation? It's like, well, let's get our valuation numbers prior to the 45-day payout or the 30-day payout. And now we've got all this fucking money that people have been sending us. And then we're going to write checks to everybody 2 weeks later and look like a pile of shit. Like, their revenue has, like, their fucking cash flow has to be insane,
right?
Because of the way they do their shit.
So I thought that was super interesting. And that wasn't something that clicked in my mind until I was starting to do it. I was like, why don't they just fucking tell us how much they paid us? There's gotta be
probably
a reason.
because they dicked it up so bad they didn't have fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, or legally sent out your 1099s 2 weeks later. That's the law. You have to have your fucking 1099s out postmarked by January 31st.
But the biggest thing, like, it should be one of the easiest ones to track since everything is done through their platform.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. All
it
Amazon
should be a
Pay.
1-to-1.
Yeah. You're not going to a second, third party site to buy bits, or a second or third party site to send, to sub to people. Like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting. I think once I do my taxes this year and get a fine definition of all the things that I can and cannot claim, I plan on making like an appointment with a Twitch tax professional to just ask a bunch of questions. And then I would love to do it'll probably be a solo Q podcast, but
I would wait until next year. Just wait for a lot of these tax laws to settle out to see what the hell's actually going on.
good
Yeah,
point.
it's going to change year to year. Well, and it's been changing year to year for the past.
But this
7 or 8
year is
years
like
anyway.
one of the greatest changes ever to a lot of tax laws. So
Okay.
Yeah,
just
I
wait for the
fucking-
Wild West to settle down.
I made the fuck out this year. I don't know about everybody else, but these tax cuts fucking hit me square in the chest. I'm all about it.
I don't know. I haven't been able to do my taxes yet because of my fucking Twitch 1099. God! I actually wasn't the only, I didn't get my 1099 from my last job until a couple weeks ago too. So,
Yeah.
and it was a photocopy of my 1099, not an actual 1099. Am I in
I'll
for
be
a
doing-
world of butthurt?
it's
That's
still legal.
illegal. That's
No.
illegal for
they
them
have
not to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to give you a fucking actual
Original.
copy. like the one that the IRS sends to them.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'll be doing my taxes this
Make
week.
sure you keep that fucking copy on you at all times.
Oh yeah, I scan
I got-
PDFs of every tax form I get.
I got fucked a couple years ago because the mortgage company that owned my mortgage in my old house never submitted W-4s for my fucking mortgage interest. So the IRS audited me 3 years after the fact and were like, we see you claim like $7,000 worth of shit on this, and we got nothing saying that you actually paid any money into it. And luckily, I had printed all the shit off every month that I did my fucking payment online.
Oh my
Otherwise,
god.
I would have gotten fucked. So then they get fucked.
Speaking of, what happens if your expenses outweigh your profit? Because that definitely happened to me this year. I spent
You won't have to pay anything.
okay.
Especially, well, see, that's the thing is now that if are you LLC incorporated or anything like that?
Nope.
That's you need to jump on that.
Yeah.
I
If you
have
plan-
it's a DBA, so it's a registered business, but it's not
it's a
an
business
LLC.
tax ID, but it's not.
Nope,
it's
it's
not a
You need
it's
an
sole
LLC.
proprietorship.
Yeah, you need an LLC. It costs like $200. You can do it online.
And
Like,
it's for life. You don't have to renew it.
Right.
yeah. Well, it depends on your
Your state.
locality
Yeah.
in your state because, like,
In
in
Virginia.
Maryland's case, you have to renew your fucking business licenses and shit depending on the type of business you start.
All the
Like-
people that I talked to regarding this all told me there was no reason to get into that yet because of the amount of revenue that was being like they were all like it's way more because I can't claim this office. Like if I were to go into that with either an LLC or an S corp in order to take advantage of all of those expenses and deductions, I would have to claim this room as my office, but it's
Why
not
couldn't you?
because I do non-work related stuff in this office as well.
That's perfectly fine.
You
They
would
don't
just
need
have to
know
log
about
your
that.
hours.
Fuck
You would just have
that!
to log hours.
It's
You
a
already logged
percentage.
your hours for the most part.
Yeah.
When
Twitch
I-
does it for you.
Oh, you're right. When I'm live, but yeah, no, I talked to a couple different people, and they were like, and this, they're like, the amount of money that you're making and all of the extra money you'd have to spend in order to get it set up over. Because I only paid $110 to do all the paperwork for the DBA.
You might, if you did it on like LegalZoom, it might be twice that. But
it was 3 times that.
well, how
for an
much-
LLC.
was that you getting all your local paperwork filled out by them too?
Can't remember.
Because-
It was a while ago now.
The base just starting an LLC costs like $100
Right.
on LegalZoom. But then if you start adding on all the services and all the other dumb shit on top of it that you could easily do yourself.
But who wants
Yeah.
to do that?
Me, I'm the
Hey, you're not
cheapest
being yourself
motherfucker you've
now,
ever met.
motherfucker.
Like I've created LLCs in the past
Right.
for, especially when it comes to like things that you take seriously in your life. It can help you on your taxes a lot, especially if you make any kind of money, to be able to write off tools or equipment.
Well, you can. I mean,
Or-
you don't. If you have the DBA, you can still do that stuff. It's just not as ironclad as if it is if you had
Right.
the LLC. So
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm saying.
I'm gonna find out this. Well, that's the thing too is the DBA wasn't registered until October of last year, so it was technically only official.
How do you have it set up though? Is it like you doing business as Naaackers?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So my
Yeah.
social security number is my tax ID number. So
Yeah, I mean, at the
That
end
may
of the
come
day,
back to bite you in the ass just for the simple reason like you have a legit like W-2 job, and then they see all this 1099 stuff as just extra income that is not taxed.
oh no, I'm very much like I know that that's all going to be taxed. All that
Yeah.
that extra income is going to be taxed. But yeah, I'll have to. We'll see. We'll see what when
well,
I.
that's
Yeah.
the balance I'm talking about. So like, let's just say for shits and giggles that I started an LLC and I was building fucking sheds. Like, I could write off every fucking tool. I could write off any improvements I made to my shop, even if it was a home business, anything like that. I can write the fuck off. I could write off, like I could sell my truck to the business and write off maintenance to the truck and getting shit fixed when it breaks.
But that's
buying
what I'm
new
doing now.
vehicles. But you can do all that and it doesn't touch your fucking name. It's all in the business.
Oh,
And
I got
you can take a loss and pay 0 taxes for like 7 fucking years before they're like, okay, you suck at business and you should just quit.
That's the biggest thing with the LLC is the security blanket of the whole thing. So it's like you as Naaackers, you could not pay taxes on everything you're making from bits and tips and all that. Like Salty said, for like 7-year span, while you're getting your feet wet and everything.
Depending on your state.
Yeah, but yeah, shit.
I think Maryland is 7 years.
If you're taking a loss 7 years in a row, streaming probably isn't for you.
Right. Well, and at the same time, it's like whatever you can put in paperwork for any fucking thing.
Right.
So it's like I didn't do this. I was actually in the market for doing. That's why it's so fresh in my mind. Before this whole house shit happened, I was going to start a business on the side that would encompass my wood shop. And I wanted it's really the reason why LLC I personally believe is the way to go is because it protects you legally.
It protects you
from getting sued. Like if somebody sues Naaackers, they can't sue Nick.
Right.
If somebody sues Salty, they're
the same person. I'm the same person.
I'm doing business ass. But no, like that's the I think is it's worth the money. If I didn't make, and this all stems from the gaming community side of things that I've dealt with and the legal issues I've had to step through for certain things with old and new communities. It's one of those things where how shitty of people have you met online? How shitty of people have you seen in stories online? Like motherfuckers are swatting people out here.
This is true.
I'm going to cover my ass from all angles. The least fucked, the better.
Yeah. All it takes is one person being like, oh, well, I saw Naaackers do this on his stream, and he said it would work like this. And then some jackass could come back and be like, yo, we're suing you because you said this would work. We need $2 million. And next thing you know, you personally are fucked.
Yeah. Whereas
we're not trying to give you like horror stories.
No, because this is the shit that these are the things that I want to learn. And I'll definitely have some more information to come back with once I have my meeting with my tax guy and figure out, okay, what's going to be the best solution? Because like the income that I made this past year was 6 times what it was the year before. So shit is starting to change. Like how I have been doing it. And actually before this year, I had never, like I always just, all the extra income I got from Twitch was all just Schedule C is income, like a hobby income. Right. And then it just got taxed. So
then here's my next question. What about like the income that came to you for like the OBS fundraiser and stuff like that?
So
since that all came through you personally,
right?
Do you then write that off as a charitable donation?
So that's what I'm planning on doing. I don't know what it needs to look like on the other side, because the other
side, it needs to be a nonprofit.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I don't know for a fact that they are.
Then it's not. Isn't their website obsproject.org?
So that means they have to have a 501.
You have to have a 501.
Yeah.
It's .com.
501c. Damn it.
It is, however, their donate button is a PayPal donate button.
But they need to possess a non-profit certification.
501c.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
But
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the fuck that works nowadays, but that just means they're tax exempt. They're like churches. 501c's are charities and churches, pretty much.
Right.
Oh, we've gotten into some deep topics.
That's why I fucking love it, man.
Dude, I've been
podcast ever.
I've been studying money since I was a kid. I'm all about it. I'm 100% about it. Finding ways to keep my own money in this country.
I'm wondering.
Stop taking it from me, cocksuckers.
I'm gonna do it quick.
I'll put it to you this way. I took my job a year and a half ago. Last year, I got a bonus apparently they get bonuses every year. I wasn't something I was really that aware of. And even if I was aware of it, I definitely wasn't aware of the scale. Like I thought it'd be like $1,000 or something. These are significant sums of money. And last year it was a massive amount of money to what I was expecting. And yet 47% of it got paid into taxes.
Fuck.
So this year, which was the first real 100% bonus, whereas last year was like I only had the job for 7 months. So it was a prorated bonus. This year was a real bonus, and it was huge, and it was crippling how much I paid in taxes.
God damn.
I paid more in taxes in that one bonus than I have the rest of the year so far. Combined. Like, it pisses me off.
Don't you love being an adult?
I fucking hate living in Maryland, dude.
Right.
I need to live. If I made this money in Texas, I'd be fucking living high on the hog, my friend.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. I planned on sending a message to Jim, and be like, "Hey, by the way, are you a 5013C? Because if you are, that's really gonna help me out." But I don't know if there's anything in between them not being a nonprofit and that just being like income for me. Like there might be, like I might be able to claim half of it, which I don't know why I didn't do it another way. I think it was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this weekend, and I just fucking set it up.
I mean,
and that
it might
was
be it might be a not-for-profit, and they just don't have the .org designation.
Right.
But that's like because of how tightly they regulate who gets .org extensions. You have to prove you're a fucking nonprofit before you can get that.
right. Yeah, we shall
They
see.
don't just give that shit to anybody.
Right. All right, moving along to the question and answer part of the show. These are the questions that you guys submitted in chat, and we're going to answer them now.
We gotta wait for Sonder to get back.
Oh, yeah, he's not back yet.
How about we talk about the fact that NASCAR is the next addition to professional esports?
I can't, dude. I'm talking about things I don't understand.
Okay, so what was it, like a year ago on this very fucking channel, I talked about how the NBA was bringing in the most legit form of esports I had seen because it had a live draft. These are sponsored by real teams. Like the Mavericks have their own esports division. NASCAR did the exact same shit. I don't even know what it was. It was something somebody had posted something to me on Snapchat, which I never go on. So I opened it up and I look, and there's a fucking story from Joe Gibbs Racing's Snapchat channel. And Joe Gibbs Racing was at the live fucking draft for the NASCAR Heat esports. Like alive, they had fucking dossiers on all the players and shit.
Oh my God.
And it is legit an esports racing league for fucking NASCAR, which is the most boring ass racing game on the face of the fucking earth.
And now it's an esport.
And now it's a fucking esport.
No thanks.
And it's sponsored by the real racing team. So it's like these people are actual NASCAR employees.
I'm sure it'll be entertaining for somebody.
I'm saying good on them for trying to get a younger generation, but it's falling on deaf ears, man. Like, I love NASCAR 99 on N64, but that's before, like, graphics.
Right. That's before good video games came out.
Forza came out. So,
Cruising World, not Cruising.
Oh, I love fucking Cruising World.
Spy Hunter was fucking badass. That was a really good car game.
All right.
But
ready for the Q&A?
Do it.
Cool. First question. Naaackers, why are you such a little bitch? I did not even see that pop up in chat. You're a fucking ninja. God damn it. All right. Next
bitch.
Next question from Summit City Alt. Can each of you be with my wife and then meet me on Maury for a game of Who's the Father? Jesus, who has the strongest seed?
Can you send us a picture?
Yeah, before we commit to this.
These are questions that need to be answered. Literally.
Next question from Hellhound. So you basically put Salty Sam on the sidelines like the Chinese railroad workers while you play cowboys and Indians?
I have no idea what the context of that question was.
I don't either. I'm totally confused now.
I feel like it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm lost. Moving on.
I
That was
can't help
early.
either.
That was early on.
Too early for us. Next question from Wiccan. What would you recommend for face lighting for a new streamer?
A hue light bulb.
Elgato
That's
key
what I
light.
have right there.
Yeah.
Hue light bulb. Just pick up your phone. Do whatever you want.
It depends on how cheap you want to go. You could easily just get the Naaacker solution with the duct tape and the paper towel over a lamp. You could also go something I learned from Naacker's brother, and that is if you have the extra monitor space, you can open up a window with a white background, and that will help illuminate you.
That's
Or
what
you
I
can be
have.
you can be an idiot like myself and buy the Razer Kaio that you're not using as your regular camera. Instead, use it as a ring light for $100. Your choice.
There you go.
I don't know what's the worst deal. Yeah, I have 2 Target lamps, $7 a piece, with 2 broken Philips Hue light bulbs with paper towel taped over them for diffusers. So that's, $57
How did you
a
break
piece.
the bulbs? I've never asked that. How did you break them?
So both of these lamps were balancing on my monitor mount, like they were just sitting. And anybody who's been watching me longer than 2 years knows there's random times throughout the stream where I'll go, "Whoa!" and I'll catch one of the lamps that are falling because I never secured them for whatever reason. So one fell face down and shattered, and I actually don't know how the other one broke. But I know one of them broke from falling. But that's the thing is, like, if the housing breaks, it still works because it's just a little PCB on the inside with a extremely bright LED on the inside. I looked at that thing. I made the mistake
of diffuser of the bulb.
Oh my god, crazy.
So, how many watts is a Hue LED? Let's see real quick.
Probably like 9 or 12.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Doesn't take shit with LEDs. They're great.
Paul, I have never destroyed any electronics with liquid ever. Thank you very much.
All right,
A lot of almosts, though.
It's an 8.5 watt LED. All right. Some of the lights I use that are LED have 75 watt LEDs in them.
Jesus Christ.
Woo.
That's bright.
So
Yeah.
imagine that LED.
Good God.
That's the kind of fucking lighting I need in my shop.
Yeah.
No.
Yes,
So
yes.
bright.
Knackers can tell you, I had 12 8-foot fluorescent lights in my overhead of my old shop. Plus, I had workbenches that had their own fluorescent lights over top of both of them. Like, I want my shit to look like an OR when I'm in there.
That's how I want the craft room to be. I'm already like underwhelmed with the lighting that we have in there right now. I'm already trying to get something else. Next question, also from Summit City Alt. Sonder, do you use capture for your plots? Also, what do you use for previs?
Plots, it really all depends. I do use Capture. It's a program. You can check it out. CaptureSweden.com is the website for it. I use that for just quick drawings because it's really quick and easy for me to just lay out things and, come up with an idea real quick and everything like that. From there, I'll usually take that drawing into a program called Vectorworks to really refine it and get fine tuning on measurements and all that kind of stuff. And then when it comes to actual previs, it's all dependent on. So what previs is? Let me back up. Previs is basically I create the design, the environment, and everything in 3D, and then I'm able to program it in a virtual environment. So the lights are all coming on and moving and wiggling and doing what they're doing, but it's all inside a computer screen. So it really depends on my timeline and stuff like that. If I've got a lot of time, I'll use Capture for previs or a program called WYSIWYG, which stands for what you see is what you get. It just really depends on what look I want out of the previs. Some previses produce a better product. Nowadays, they're all racing to try and keep up with new architecture that NVIDIA is releasing and stuff like that. Like a lot of the previous softwares have all switched over to the DirectX 12 now with the 20 series cards and all that. And then sometimes I use MA3D, which is previous software that comes with the lighting console I use, just to get rough things down, like positions and stuff like that. So it really all depends on the situation.
And
Right tool for the right job.
basically, the only people who should understand what Sonder is saying is Summit City. So if there's anybody who's like, what the hell are these guys talking about? Don't worry. You're not smart enough.
Don't.
I'm in the same boat too.
There's no need to worry about it.
Next question comes from Paul. How much do you regret sub goals? Am I right? Hashtag cyberbullying.
That was 100% directed at Jimmy.
You know, I don't regret them. They've got me to play some games that are out of my comfort zone. And I know it's stuff that my community likes for whatever reason. So I don't
Everybody
regret
has
them.
a sick kink for watching people scream online.
Yeah. There's definitely people like that because that's not games that I will ever pick to play on my own accord. So
I can tell you honestly that the only streams I can really ever get my wife to sit down and watch with me are always horror streams.
Really?
Okay.
a lot of
It's
people
like
love those
funny
games
because of the content of the game, and it's funny because the person screaming and freaking out. So
Yeah. No, it's true. A lot of people love them.
Weirdos. Next question, and our final question comes from Sono Champ. Are subs tax deductible, and how do you put that into QuickBooks? I have not gotten 100% confirmation. I have seen people talk about it, but I've seen a lot of people say that they write off subscribing to other people because it can be used as like a networking slash business, meeting.
Dude.
Yep. So
That's super sketch.
yeah.
I mean, but that's one of those loopholes. That's the fine line. You know, it's all up to the interpreter at that point.
Right.
At that point, you're not paying them directly though. You're paying Twitch. So I don't know.
Right. So it's so
You riding that line pretty far on the wrong side, I'm thinking.
obviously my tax guy is not going to have any idea what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to that. So but it all depends, like
Internet.
What is this? I mean, that the guy, he does do taxes by hand. He literally brings out the graph paper and itemizes shit by hand. He's nuts.
He's got like a fucking abacus behind him.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people say that they have. Again, there's not going to be any official statement from Twitch that says, yes, you can write off your subscriptions. I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens.
Paul, what Paul just said in chat, we need to make sure that we say this for the audio version as well. The
Right.
Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast are not tax professionals. Please consult experienced tax professionals for advice on taxes and how to hide your money.
Yes. It's like because shit changes from state to state too. Like not even just country to country, with Twitch being a worldwide thing, man. Yeah, it gets gnarly, and that's what kind of fucking pisses me off about the whole thing is there's no direction whatsoever on Twitch's side, and of course, a lot of us who grew up, we didn't have tax honors, right? We were given no real information growing up. It's all stuff that was either passed down from family or from friends. Like that's how we know about taxes, or from fucking Googling shit online.
Yeah, just doing it yourself forever.
And like you said, you got audited 3 years after you did your taxes. There's no confirmation that you did shit right the first time.
They can audit you whenever.
Isn't there a 7-year window?
7-year window.
There used to be 7-year windows, but I've seen people get audited. My father-in-law got audited like 11 years after. And it was shit that he didn't have no fucking idea where any of that was. Like, I keep everything. Sitting next to me to the left, I posted it on social media at some point. There are every fucking tax return I've ever gotten, ever. From the time I was 17.
Jeez.
So that's what that pile is behind you? It's just nothing with tax
No,
returns.
this pile's right here. It only comes up to about midway through the fucking file cabinet drawer of my desk.
Gotcha.
No, that is all Christmas shit because I'm too lazy to crawl around the attic. Fuck addicts.
Just
Fuck 'em.
burn it.
Yep.
Fuck it.
I'm getting ready to. There's a this window that's right in front of me goes out to a fucking porch that goes out into my yard, and I could literally just toss that shit through that window, and we would have this taken care of.
All right. That is it for the Q&A portion of the show. And unfortunately, that is also the end of the podcast. So what we're going to do is go around the room one final time, have everybody announce their social media and what they have coming up, and then we'll close this bitch down. So Sonder, we'll start with you, sir.
You can find me on Twitter. Once again, it's S0ND3R13. Word. And then yeah, here's my Twitch. There's an Instagram. All that stuff. It's in the chat. Oh god. Oh god.
Yep.
What is happening?
That was an
over there?
accident on my part. Just roll with it. Roll with it.
End of the show.
I
like
forgot
a
about the
command.
multi-action. Shit.
Oh god. Yeah, that's about it. Coming up, I'm home for a while. And then wow, you have all this automated?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god.
I got fucking Stream Deck multi-action, dude. It is the best.
Yeah, I'm home. I go back out on tour in May. So yeah, I'm chilling. Drawing, designing, doing all
same
that.
artist as before?
Yeah, so this summer, well, I picked up, so I can say this. I'm doing design and actually touring with Bush still. And then I just picked up Stone Temple Pilots. So I'm doing design and programming for them, and I'll do dates for them when I can do them. And then I also have a design in the running for Pentatonics as well.
That would be fucking sick.
And let's see what else. I just sent a bunch of stuff out for Zach Brown, Dave Matthews Band. I got a bunch of gear going out for a Dead tour
Sweet.
this summer. Yeah, so I got a
Busy
lot
as
going on.
fuck.
Yeah.
Well, my name is SaltySam. You can find me on Twitch at SaltySam, Twitter at the SaltySam, and Salty All Day on Snap. And hopefully you'll be seeing me digitally more than just the show every once in a while. My plan is to see. I will play games. I promise.
My name is Jimmy, aka MiddleAgedStream on Twitch and Instagram. You can find me on Twitch usually 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturday nights, around 8 or 8:30 Central Time. You can also find me at MiddleAgedStream on Twitter and 4Pump Chump Change on Grindr.com.
Nice.
Grinder, dude. My name is Naaackers. You guys can find me on this very channel, or you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Anchor at Naaackers with 3 A's, but also Anchor is actually Audio Snack, and I have fucking shit. Thank you guys so much for stopping by this episode of the podcast. Remember, we are not tax professionals, and please do not take anything that we say seriously, but we hope you were entertained. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks for episode 90 of the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. We hope you guys had fun, and we hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.
I'm not going to get sued because I didn't even talk about taxes. I let you guys do all that. So if anyone gets sued, it's going to be y'all.
Smart. Very smart.
I just
We're
shut my
fucked.
ass up. I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
If anybody's
Dig
going to
your
get
hole.
sued, it's going to be my LLC.
Dig your hole, boys.
Yes. Eat my ass, because my LLC ain't got no money.
Suck that ass, boys.
Ugh.